What's up, homie? This is Howie. Welcome back to HowieVerse. Today, I'm going to talk about Bitcoin. Since the last time we talked about Bitcoin, it has dropped more than 50%. So the question is it's going to bounce back or Bitcoin actually hasn't found the floor yet? Which is it? We shall explore in this video. Let's do it. All right, here we go. So 11 days ago over here. And today is February 10, 11 days ago is January 31st, right? I posted this in my community. It says BTC Bitcoin dropped 35.8% from the all-time high. Since October 6, 2025, Bitcoin has been going into a series of downturn, bear flags, one after another. So look at this. So it's been a series of downturn, right? One bear flag after another. And the Bitcoin price when I posted this was still $83,000, $84,000. Now, the weekly chart is showing a strong bear flag indicating that further drop is the most probable price action. So this is what I mean. In this weekly chart, you see this strong bear flag. Look at this. This is the pole, and then here's the flag, right? It's an inverted flag as opposed to standing right up. That's why we call this bear flag. And if it's standing right up, it's called bull flag. Bull flag means it's bullish, it's going to go up. Bear flag means it's going to go down, right? If you look at this, this is a really strong bear flag and it just basically ricocheting in this range right here, went in this parallel channel. And the last time it was traded at $33,800, right? If I continue to the post, it is currently approaching a support line at $80,000, 80,537. If the downward move keeps going, it may go in this sequence: 76,600, 74,400, and 69,000. Where could be the bottom of the bottom? 15,748. If this happens, this will be more than 90% drop to the downside. So you can look at this line, right? So I put it over here, 80,000. There is this 76,600 and then 74,400 right there. I'll make it up, and we can take a look at the price right now, right? So the price right now today is trading at $69,200, right? $69,200. The $200 is just a chump change. Look at this. It may go into the sequence. It's currently trading at 69,000, basically. Let's look at the price action in the candlestick, right? All right, here we go. So this is the weekly chart, and this was the bull flag that I showed you guys earlier in my community post, right? So we can safely ignore this now because it had happened and we don't need that information anymore. However, if you want to look at this, I'm just going to draw this on the fly. Look at this. What is this? Oh my God. Let me just redo that real quick. Maybe over this, right? So here we go. And would you look at that, right? So the flag hasn't happened yet, but it might happen in the future if this price action keep going sideways. And it's certainly not good if it's going sideways, because this is another bear flag, right? So the bear flag coming from up here all the way to down here. And since the all-time high over here, the Bitcoin price have fall more than 50% from the very, very top to the recent low, right? And if you just count today, probably, yeah, it's 45% drop. That's insane. But needless to say, don't blame me. I didn't do this. I just read the chart, and this is what the chart is saying. Don't put a nasty comment in my in my video. It's just that I'm just reading the chart to you guys. I didn't have nothing to do with this, right? I'm just reporting. Nevertheless, this is the weekly chart. If we go to the daily chart, see, this was the bear flag that we drew earlier, and yeah, would you look at this? This is going sideways. Not only going sideways, we can safely ignore this. If you look at this price action, right? So this price action is telling you, yeah, look at this line that I draw at 76,600, right? So it went to that point, very, very close to that point for a couple days over here, and then it drops down, and it drops down, and then it passed through this point at 74,400. And then what happened is at 69,000, this is at 69,000 line, and it's been going, it tried to broke through, but it went back. It went back to this 0.5 Fibonacci line. Is this 0.5 Fibonacci line? Okay, so yeah, it's 0.5. The green line is 0.5, 70,700. Right, so if we go back, all right, here we go. 74.4. So like you can look at the price action, it just ricocheting in like between this 0.5 Fibonacci line and this line that I draw at 79,000. This is insane. This just show you the power of technical analysis, where it's just the price action is just moving within those area, and seems like for the price right now, it is trying to get back up to this line right here, right? So maybe this 69, maybe it's still inside the line over here. If I move this down here, maybe I'll just leave it back up over there. But yeah, so look at this. It's going down, and then it bounced back to this 0.5 line. I didn't draw this just now. You can look at the post that I posted like 11 days ago. All of these lines was there, and this 76,600. If we go back to the weekly chart, right? So look at that. It closed almost very, very near to this 76,600 line, and the next day it opened around that price, right? What is that? 76,900. So $300 difference, just chump change for $76,000. And for this line as well. And where can it go to the lowest point, right? So the lowest point that I have is over here, right? Over here at the 15,300 or $500, right? Yeah, so currently the price action for Bitcoin is not looking good. If this thing is not going back up like this in a few days, or maybe like over here, right? If it's not going back up back to this 83,000 line, if it's going sideways or going, well, obviously if it's going down, it's going down. But if it's just going sideways like this for the next couple weeks, it's going to look really bad for Bitcoin, right? So Bitcoin needs to go up fast. Need to go up fast over here, and then retake this line. You need to retake this line over here, and then go back up to this line, right? And eventually test the all-time high. So I came across this article just today. It says Bitcoin price next 7 days could decide everything. This is essentially just like what I say, is that if either it go back to 80,000, if it wants to go back to 80,000, it has to happen really fast, right? In this article, it says 7 days. Within 7 days, it needs to go back to 80,000. If not, it's going to flush down to 50K. And it says the Bitcoin price is back in that uncomfortable spot where the next move actually matters. From the price right now, there is around 69,000, 70,000 to 50K. That is another 1/3 of the price going down. And that's like 33% drop. And Bitcoin Patel put it best. The next 7 days, he says, will be the deciding period where the Bitcoin either bounce back towards $80,000 or slide into a far steep fall towards 50,000. And right now, the chart is sitting right on the line that divides those two possibility. This isn't just random volatility. This is a real decision zone, which I agree. I did say this. I did say this 11 days ago, right? 11 days ago, the range is not 50 to it's not 80 to 50K, right? It was a lot higher. Now the price has flushed down. We need to adjust this range, right? Now the range is between 80,000 to 50,000, which I'm going to show you later where the range is. And it says after the recent crash, Bitcoin found support near 60,000 low, yes, and that level is now the key floor holding the entire structure together. So technical wise, 60,000 is the support for Bitcoin. If it doesn't want to fall further, the $60,000 price point has to hold. And Patel chart shows Bitcoin price trying to stabilize. I don't know so much about stabilizing. It looks like there is a tug of war going on right now, which I showed you earlier, right? So in the past few days, this is essentially the tug of war that I was talking about, right? So the Bitcoin price going all the way low here, and then it says, no, we want to go high. And then it says, no, we want to go low. But no, it actually wants to go high again over here. And it wants to go low, go high, go low. So in the past 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, in the past 5 days, Bitcoin has been in this tug of war zone between this 70,700 and 69,000. So in this zone is just basically a tug of war between the buyer and the seller of the Bitcoin, and eventually someone is going to win, right? And in the short term, it looks like it wants to go up, right? So if you take this as this candle right here as the pole, and then we have this parallel channel. Let me draw this real quick. That's not what I want. Right here, parallel channel that is going on between here, right? Yeah, so that looks like a bull flag to me, right? In the short term, there's bull flag going on. Seems like it's leaning towards going up in the short term, but how much it's go up, it depends. It can go up like this, which is not a very good sign, because overall in the big picture, right? This is the big picture. This is the big picture. This is the big pole right here. In the big picture, it is still a bear flag, and that is not a good sign. However, in the short term, it seems like this small pole right here, short term, it's leaning towards upside. So if it doesn't take out the upside quickly, it might go down even further. And you remember that article, it says down 50,000. And I kind of agree with that. I didn't have that line. Let's just put that line into here. See, I'm not perfect, but sometimes I took a look at different things from other people. It's not actually 50,000. In my opinion, it's around here, right? 52,500. It's just rounding up number from their side. And if I draw a horizontal line right here, right? So it just basically on that price point. Let me draw it for you. Okay, let me go back real quick. Okay, here we go. So we got a lot of touch point over here. Obviously, this one, we got this one, right? And then over here we have we touches this point right here. We touches this point over here, and then over here, and then over here. So there are a lot of there are a lot of intersection in between this point, and I think at around 52,500 is the 50,000 range that they talk about. So he was talking about in between this range over here, right? So from all the way here to all the way there. That is about 30% drop, like I said. And the current price is at, what is the current price? 69,000, like around right here. If I adjust this to this one, yeah, it's about 25%, 30% drop. So yeah, so Bitcoin is just going to go back in this range according to the article, which I kind of agree. Nevertheless, I would add another caveat is that if it doesn't take back this line at like 70,000, this green Fibonacci line at 0.5 Fibonacci line in a short term, if it doesn't take over that line, I think there's more downward move, and it for a series it will go back to here, and then it have to break that resistance, and then it will go back to here again, break the resistance again, and then eventually take this 80,000. And if it doesn't take this line within a month, I would say, let's see, if it doesn't take this one within a month, this one within a week or so, I'm afraid there is much more downward move, right? And how much lower can it go? For the short term, we have this line right here at 57,700, and then all the way to 52,500. So that is a huge drop. And if we look at the history real quick, this is just the last thing that I'm going to do. And if we look at this, this one is the last high, and then go back all the way to the low over here. And what's that percentage drop? 77% drop before it go back up again. And it took from November, it took 1 year. It's basically 1 year of bear market for Bitcoin at this point, when it go all the way high here and then it touches this point, right? Let's take this one. Let's take this one and drop it up here. Drop it up here. Yeah, so it's already, yeah, if we look at that line, that's already taken over. And if we want to drop, what is that, 77%? 77%. It's roughly on this line right here, right? So from the high over here to this upsloping line up there. So that's just the history, what the history is telling us from the all-time high over here, well, all-time high back then over here, and then you drop it down over there, that's about 77% drop. And yeah, if you look at that, the about 77% drop is likely at that point at 30,500. That would be scary. That would be really, really scary for Bitcoin. If it goes down that low to $30,000, it's actually losing 70. Yeah. If it's 77%, like about right here, yeah, it's chump change, like $2,000 difference between this upsloping trend line to like all the way here. So it might take a year. Right, to go down that low. And what's a year from today? From that October 2026. Yeah, sometime right here. Sometime right here. About $30,000. The lowest it can go, in my opinion, is at $33,000. I just draw this. I didn't look it up this before, so we kind of just did it on the fly. But that's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope this is not too depressing. And if you like this price action, give it a thumbs up. But I'm just here to report.